How's it going, everyone? Welcome back to the channel. With the trade deadline now having passed, the buyout market will begin to heat up much more than before. Multiple players have already been bought out of their current contracts like Andre Drummond, Jeff Teague, and LaMarcus Aldridge, with many more soon to come. And in this video, we'll go over who will be the best buyout market targets for the Laker team following the trade deadline. While the Lakers look like they could use a lot of help currently without LeBron and AD on the court, they have to think about the bigger picture with who they add through the buyout market. They have 2 open spots remaining on their team, so they need to make sure they address their final needs with those 2 players. While some people believe they could use another true point guard, or maybe another scoring threat while LeBron and AD are out, it has been most widely agreed on that they could use another true center and another 3-and-D wing defender. And I personally happen to agree with that. If you've been watching them play lately, it's been very noticeable how much they really need another center. And even though there are a lot of Marc Gasol haters out there, you can't even deny that they've been looking much better with him now back on the court compared to when he was out. They desperately need that size down low and could really use another big to not have to only rely on Marc Gasol and Montrezl Harrell. Along with that though, they have really lacked a bigger wing defender at times too. They've been taken advantage of by bigger wing defenders throughout the year and just have not had a good player to match up with them. Caldwell Pope is not big enough to defend those kind of players, Kuzma is improving but is not yet a great defender, and LeBron, even when healthy, does not often defend those kind of players during the regular season. But with all that being said, let's get into buyout target number 1, where we have former Laker Avery Bradley. After being included in the Victor Oladipo trade, Bradley now finds himself on a rebuilding Rocket team, and with him not being a long-term fit for a rebuilding team, and with a non-guaranteed contract for next year, he is a very likely buyout candidate. Given how well he fit on the 2019-2020 Laker team, he could very likely be one of their main targets. He does fit the mold of a 3-and-D player, as he is regarded as one of the better perimeter defenders in the league and is also a very capable 3-point shooter. He actually has been having one of the best 3-point shooting years of his entire career, shooting at over 42% from the 3-point line. The Lakers know exactly what he can provide to a team and how good of a fit he can be on the floor with LeBron and AD. Cut somebody out of their current rotation to give him playing time, and even though they could do that, again, that would not be addressing their problem of not having a player who can defend bigger wing players. There's also no guarantee that he'd want to return to their team, given that there might be a little tension between the two after he chose to not join them in the NBA bubble. Overall, I like the idea of bringing Avery Bradley back, but I don't love it. They could use his 3-and-D ability, but he is not a perfect fit overall. But now moving on to buyout target number 2, where we have Gorgui Dieng. After not being traded at the deadline, Gorgui is very likely heading to the buyout market. He rarely cracks the Grizzlies' rotation, and he is not in their long-term plan. He would, however, be a hot commodity for many contending teams on the buyout market, and while he wouldn't be the number 1 option for a team like the Lakers, who have a high likelihood of getting Andre Drummond, he would be a good backup plan. Gorgui Dieng is a very good backup center in today's NBA. He is a very good shooter for a big man and has the ability to space the floor out to the 3-point line. He is a career 35.9% shooter from the 3-point line and has been shooting a very impressive near 48% from the 3-point line on the year. There are not many big men around the league who can provide that kind of shooting while still being a good rebounder and capable defender. If you look at his per 36-minute average, he does average right around 10 rebounds a game, making him a very reliable rebounder. And although he is not a big-time shot blocker or anything, he can definitely hold his own down low. He is a fairly mobile big and has the ability to defend the perimeter for a possession every now and again. I wouldn't call him great in any one area, but he isn't bad in any one area either. He would be a great backup plan if they could not land Andre Drummond. But now moving on to buyout target number 3, where we have Mo Harkless, another player who has been linked to the Laker team in the past. He may again be a target for them. After being traded to the Kings at the deadline, Mo could be hitting the buyout market. It does depend on if the Kings think he could help them make a playoff push, but he is not likely in their long-term plan. He has not gotten to play much this year between dealing with COVID-19 and falling out of Miami's rotation even when he got healthy. However, he could be a much better fit for a team like the Lakers if he were to get bought out of his contract. He is that bigger type of wing defender that they've been rumored to have interest in, and he is a capable 3-point shooter too. No, he is not a great 3-point shooter, but he did shoot the ball really well from the 3-point line this year when he got to play. It was not in a high volume, but he did shoot at over 45% from there in 11 games played. While he likely wouldn't be able to maintain that mark for very long, if he could shoot at around 35% while providing them with great defense, he would be a great fit for them in my opinion. He has the ability to defend players that they'll likely have to match up with come playoff time, like Paul George, Kawhi Leonard, Luka Doncic, and more. For his ability to defend bigger players alone, he could be a great fit for them. But now moving on to buyout target number 4, where we have Otto Porter Jr. I've been trying to call this one for a while now, as I knew he would very likely be hitting the buyout market one way or another, but Otto Porter Jr. could potentially be a great fit for the Laker team. Back injuries have taken a lot of his prime away from him, but when healthy, Otto Porter can still be a very good 3-and-D player. And to the surprise of many, he actually has been healthy lately. Prior to getting traded to the Magic at the deadline, he was back on the court playing limited minutes with Chicago. No, he is not the 15 point per game, number 3 scoring option that he used to be anymore, but he could still be a very valuable player for a contending team, and he would actually be a near perfect fit for a team like the Lakers in my opinion. He would fill their need of a bigger 3-and-D wing defender. He has great height and length which allow him to defend multiple positions, and he is a great 3-point shooter too. He is a career 40% 3-point shooter and has been shooting at right at 40% on the year too. Even if he could not regain his form as a prior elite wing defender, his ability to be a reliable 3-point shooter alone could help them. After losing Anthony Davis to injury, the Lakers took a huge dip in 3-point shooting. They greatly missed his ability to space the floor and have not gotten as many open shots because of it, but enter Otto Porter Jr., who can take and make 3-point shots in a high volume and can make very difficult shots too. Overall, I think he would be a great fit for their team and would be an ideal buyout market target for them. But now moving on to buyout target number 5, where we have a player who is already heavily on their radar and seems likely to be joining their team eventually. If you don't know who I'm referring to yet, I'm talking about Andre Drummond. Drummond has been on their radar for a while now, as they've been on the hunt for another big, and Drummond may be the best one available, a 2-time All-Star and arguably the best rebounder in the entire league. And while he isn't a 3-point shooter, his height, size, athletic ability, and length would greatly benefit them down low. He would greatly improve their rebounding, would be an upgrade at rim protection over Gasol and Harrell, and would be a true lob threat for them, which both LeBron and Schroeder love to play with. No, I wouldn't call him a perfect fit for them, but for a player as talented as he is, he would be a no-brainer for them in the buyout market. He has not been regarded as a great defender in the past, but he is more than capable of becoming one. I've talked about this before, but I believe he has all the tools to become a great defender. He has very quick hands, demonstrated by his average of over a steal and a half per game. He can defend the rim with his length and athletic ability, and even has the mobility to keep up with wing players when switched onto them. And when put into a lineup with Anthony Davis when he is healthy, I have no doubt they'll look very good defensively. Drummond has rarely played for many good teams, and likely has lacked motivation to regularly be a great defender, but if you were to join a contending team like the Lakers, who put a high priority on defense, I have no doubt he'd look much better, and overall, I do believe he'd greatly benefit their team. But with that will conclude my list of the best buyout market targets for the Laker team following the trade deadline. But what do you guys think? Who would you like to see them target with their final 2 remaining roster spots? Let me know by commenting down below and we can talk about it there. That will do it for this video though. Thank you to everyone who took the time to watch until the end of the video. I really hope you enjoyed it, and if you did, please remember to drop a like on the video and to subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and turn on notifications to get notified right away when I drop a video. But as always, thank you for watching and have a great day.